Can someone respond? I shared my desktop.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. See, I can take up your questions also in between. See, but I'm in the presentation, so let me complete my presentation. If anyone has questions, just unmute and speak. So that would be better because I'm in the full screen mode. See, as specified, my name is Anand. I'm also as a AWS certified practitioner, cum solutions architect, associate, and professional also. Okay, so this is the presentation. So first and foremost thing is that why should I learn this AWS? Why should I learn? So as you are, some of you might be familiar, yes, the cloud computing demand is high, but the supply is very less. Supply is very less. I mean the prospective, the people who learn as per the expectations of the industry, when I compare that. And of course, there is a huge growth. There's a huge growth which is coming across. And of course, the people really focus on the pay also. It's a fat and fantastic pay. Lot of it is coming. This demand is coming not only from the MNC corporates, okay, but also from many sources, including startups. There are many number of people who demand. I mean, are you having skills in AWS? Because I'll tell you, in industry, a kind of level 3 kind of support engineer, once if he learns this AWS technology, what happens is that whether it is AWS or any cloud, once you learn, the level 3 kind of tasks also can be done at a level 1 kind of thing. This is how we scale up, like we call as the automation also. Many things can be learned and at an easier way. No need to learn or in depth about a particular technology, okay, in depth, but you need to get awareness of a particular technology. I'll be discussing in this cloud, especially the solutions architect, what all technologies you need to learn and how I also teach. Basically, I'm a trainer for this particular AWS, so I can for the last I think 4.5 years I'm training this AWS. But before that, I trained for cybersecurity and other technologies along with Red Hat Linux support. Okay, so as members may say, how to start? So what all things I should know? So people think, is the learning cloud a complex thing? So these are all the questions which come across. So the answers is very simple. If you learn properly, I mean, if you learn the relevant things, yes, you will be getting good opportunities. Yes, one is good opportunities, and second thing is that it's not very much complex as we think. Everything you need is to first is the pass the exam. See, passing the exam is really claiming yourself that you are a certified, proud certified. Among Amazon certification will add value to your career, and of course you can do the client requirements at any point of time. So if you ask me any experience required, it starts like even if you are a college fresher, you are okay. Even if you are having a 2 years or experience is also okay. 5 years also experience also okay. There is a piece of what we call as a requirement for almost all, almost all. So that's why this AWS is, and I'll tell you why AWS is preferred among all the cloud computing. First, let me go to the cloud market. How in generic the potential, how this cloud is really boosting up. You see, year on year, it is ramping up. Even during the epidemic time also, you can see there is a growth of 13.2, 15.3. Year on year, there is a growth. And even you can see in 2022, it may shoot beyond 18 or 20. So that is the percentage of year on year revenue growth, and also the members who are coming across into the market, their business units are entirely like if I tell about IBM etc. They have a business aggregation based on cloud and other business also. So cloud is now a competent and is a necessary for almost all major companies which we are looking into. And the good news you all might be knowing that Hyderabad will be getting a second Amazon regional center, data center. Okay, one is already we are having in Mumbai, the second one we are getting. So once a data center is there, there will be a lot of openings, lot of openings. By June 22nd, 22, you should be getting the full-fledged data center. But whatever it is, irrespective of that, the market has. So this is about, I can see, And who can learn AWS? You can see, as I mentioned, that there is a piece of learning for everyone. So you can, a small boy, there is no gender difference. There is a kind of what all, like a CEO also can understand, or even the managers, or even amateurs, or even software engineers, anyone, for all kind of people, this AWS is really what we call as very requirement is there. So based on the requirements, Amazon also, later I'll speak about, Amazon also has categorized, okay, what type of levels and what type of certifications, etc. But I'll be focusing on certain type of trainings which are relevant for the technology oriented people. Okay, so now let me just describe about this. Presentation will be about 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes, and then I'll also interact with you with your questions. Okay, so now cloud computing types. So basically, you all might be familiar about this particular one. Cloud computing is defined as, public and private with a hybrid cloud. I'll tell you what is a public cloud. Any service. First of all, cloud computing means a service. You take up a service. FTP is a service. Email is a service. These are all the services which we are using for the past 20, almost 25 years in internet. So similarly, cloud services also are there. There are different type of service. Any service across hosted when it is given to the client as required or a long-term requirement. This is called as cloud. Based on the requirements, like you see, public cloud means that any service which you can host from internet, we call as public cloud. We demonstrate all those things during training part. And most important one is the private cloud. Most of the organizations, I tell you, all organizations, whether you say MNC organization like IBM, HP, Dell, Accenture, anything which you can take up, whether it indigenous or anything. So they have a lot of projects. Each and every project is managed remotely or on-site or whatever it is. But it is a private. It is private. It is dedicated to that particular organization. So here you will also learn about how to deploy a private cloud. And Amazon is doing that. I mean that my resources are only hosted to a certain specific client, that is called as private cloud. Okay, specific organization, client or organization, whatever it is, exclusively, so that they can only interact. So a hybrid cloud, again the definition changes. Certain resources, some people say that, okay, I already have my resources which is there in my local data center. So if you do mean that, how I can do? How I can do? If I want to migrate to cloud, then should I throw all these things? No. The answer is no. What you can do? You can host some services here. You can host the new services into the cloud so that you can have connection. That is how we define. I mean, some of the infrastructure which you can already, which has been hosted, we can continue. Slowly, when these things are decommissioned, or whether you can, once this is life is over, you can migrate slowly, one by one into the cloud. So this is again a big challenge. So once you learn these trainings, you will know about how to host all this kind of cloud. I mean, the resources, public, private, as well as hybrid also. And these cloud service providers do provide a solution of this kind of things. Okay. And now let me just describe about, to understand about what really cloud is. This one slide will really help you understanding about the cloud internals also. So you see this, the traditional, I mean, what we are doing now before cloud, which is called as an on-premise, means that you have to buy, build, and run. It's like you buy the ingredients, like your vegetables, your rice, your fuel, everything. You have to cut the vegetables and then cook it, eat it, add masala, flavor it. Sometimes it may come good, sometimes it may not, and a lot of, okay, that's also one way. But now cloud is different one. So you have various levels here. You can see the steps. So here in on-premises, the networking, the storage, the servers, virtualization, okay, the operating system, the middleware, the runtime, everything needs to be deployed by the end user itself. I mean the client itself. So if the client is, let me tell you, he's a pharma client, or he's a utilities client, or he's a manufacturing, Why would he do all these things? He's spending lot of money on that on premises. So what cloud gives is that. So his main focus is towards his domain. If he's a pharma, he'll be focusing more on that. But he's really investing a lot on all these things. So now cloud provides a solution for all these kind of clients, all type of business. So the starting one is an IaaS, which is also called as infrastructure as service. Means that all the infrastructure, whichever you want, like a server, a rack server, or an enterprise server, a business server, or whatever you define, any type of server with the storage, with the networking, with virtualization, all this kind is already available. Only thing is that you can choose among that. Even when I go to Amazon also, there is a say all class of servers where you only pay for the server and for the usage only. Okay, so there are various kind of uses. No, I want for a long term, 1 year or 2 years commitment. Okay, you'll get a 50%, 80% discount also. No, I want only for 2 days. That also you can make use. Okay, that also you can do that. That is called as an on demand. So naturally, if you want to use, I'll tell you a business case, like a use case. You want to do a payroll processing. Payroll processing. Naturally, for the entire month, only 1 or 2 days will be used for payroll processing. Normally what happens is that people dedicate a server. No, don't touch that server, whether it is used or not, also leave it like that, because the software, the everything gets disturbed. But the real usage is only for 2 days. So what happens is that he's paying for the entire month. But here in cloud, you need not write a script. Within 10-15 minutes, the server gets deployed completely as it is. You can take an image. You only pay for the image. Image is, I'll tell you, 100 times lower than the server cost. Okay, you only pay for that. You keep it. Just when you want, you can deploy it. That's all. It's an on demand. You pay only for the usage. So that is a kind. No. I want a little bit more services. I want a server with operating system, with middleware, with runtime. Then it is called as a platform. So that also is available. Only what the admin's role is to take the client's requirements and then build across what is the requirement. No, I want, see, I have a severe code, I want to run the code, I want to get the output, whether the code can be Python or PHP or maybe Tomcat or Node.js, whatever it is. So that is software as a service. So some people may say, do I really require this server? Do I really require this operating system? So Amazon answers this one. Okay, don't worry about all those things. You only pay for the execution of the code, that also is there. So completely a SaaS-based services you have. What I mean to say is that in cloud computing, especially the services, when I say a service is basically based on the demand from the client, and you pay only for that. So that is the reason clients often see a drastic, what their downfall in the expenses, and they are focusing more towards, I'll tell you, minimum of 30%. If you fine tune properly, you can get profits more than 40 to 50% also, with the initial costs which has been implemented. So this is a kind of what we call as the cloud computing models which are available, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. This is defined. Okay. So now let me introduce who are all the major cloud service providers. You can see this one. This one shot will give you major. Like you can say Amazon Web Services. That is one. And last 7-8 years onwards, since initiation, Amazon Web Services is number one. Okay, I'll tell you the market ratio, market capture ratio, etc. And second, next to Amazon Web Services, we also have another one, which is Windows Azure. Yeah, you can keep in mute. I'll take up your questions. Okay, Windows Azure also is followed up. Like I'll tell you about Amazon's market capital today. Investment is more, especially business revenues. I should take, is about 40 to 43% of the world's global cloud revenues. And Azure also is equivalently competitive, about 20 to 25% they have. So both these vendors play a very, very important in the cloud computing industry. Still more you have. You have Google, you have OpenStack, you have DigitalOcean, you have VMware, you have even IBM, and many more. But all those, Google also is doing well, the third part, which is, and rest of the other people are just a little bit. But they do have a piece of cake in cloud service. Okay, so now Why Amazon also will be answered in my next slide. You can see here about the business. Amazon dominates about 39% of the revenues. You can see, and about the second is Azure. The third is you can see. This is about last year statistics about last year. Yes, market results after 2019. You can see almost all it is similar to last year also. This is how the performance is. Google Cloud is there, which is about around nearly 10%, and of course the other members also are in this particular one. Okay, this is why we have chosen AWS. Okay, now you may ask me a question saying that, sir, if I learn this AWS or Amazon Web Services, do again, if my client is using Azure, so do again I need to learn those things? No, more or less the technology, the terminology is almost similar, almost similar. A little bit. If I can give an example, I'll tell you. You go to an ice cream shop. Okay, you like one of the flavor like butterscotch. You go and ask. If he doesn't, if he says no, butterscotch is not there. We have only strawberry. So thing is that the properties are almost same. Only then the flavor is different. Here also same thing. Whether you go for AWS or any other technology, any other vendor also, the vendors are different, but technology is more or less same. Why then the difference? Because of the huge infrastructure. Now I'm going to explain about AWS has invested a lot of infrastructure across the world, across the world. It has a reachability of about 245 countries. I mean, out of the world map which you are seeing now, 245 countries, they have their presence. I mean that if your clients are any part of the globe, they can access these AWS resources. So you can see here, there are some orange balls which are there. So what does that means, these orange balls which are there? And in that also there is some numbers, 6, 3, 2, something like that. I'll be explaining. As of now, we have about 24 regions across. I mean, Amazon's region means is a kind of data center. Of course, I presume that all of you are aware of what is data center. Data center is a kind of a location where Amazon keeps the entire infrastructure. What is the infrastructure? The servers, the business servers, the enterprise servers, routers, network, and all the infrastructure which is there relevant. It can be networking means like huge bandwidth, okay, huge power supply, huge, I mean for power conditioning, air conditioning, all these kind of things. A data center has availability of 99.99s. In that way, they really see their to their clients. They boast like that. Even Amazon is also equivalent. So when you see North America itself, there are about 1, 2, 3, 4 in the right. I mean, 3 in the left and I mean 4 in the right. So total about 7 regional data centers are there. In Mumbai, in India, you can see one is there in Mumbai. In Europe, see their presence is there in mostly in the advanced and developed countries only. I mean, yet to advance also there are some locations yet to advance where their business need is more. So now I'll tell you about that is the internal numbers. When you see this orange ball, that is called as regions, which is already running. The green ones, you can see that yet to come, very soon yet to come. Okay, this map is of 2020 and 2021 update is like we'll be getting one more in India, that is Hyderabad. Okay, so you can see that what exactly this means is that 6, 3, all these things is that. That means that, like I'll tell you, to maintain a redundancy, of course, I all presume that I presume that you are familiar with what is redundancy means. Redundancy means is like you can think about a failure, a safety before a failure arrives. Okay, in that way you can say if one fails, the other one will be there. It is like a DR, disaster recovery. Okay, DR, a kind of high availability, a kind of high. If I tell you high availability, some of you might understand. So to maintain this high availability, what happens is that, like even in Mumbai, or you can see in North Virginia, you can see this has about six availability zones. That means that in that regional center, they have 6 isolated, I mean 6 different isolated, which are separated completely, 6 data centers. And all these locations which are there, even though we call it location, Amazon refers to call as availability zone. All 6 availability zones contains one region. I mean that you have different, every region, every zone is totally isolated. If one zone fails, it has its own infrastructure, the other one has its own infrastructure. And all the zones are connected by a high-speed local area network. High-speed local area network. When you create a route, you can even interact with one zone to another zone. That is very simple, which will be covered in the classes actually, how you can establish, high availability kind of services, etc. All these things will be covered. So now you see this one region to another region, how they communicate is with the help of high-speed internet lines, which is high-speed internet lines. Like you can say, sir, can I host a server in North Virginia? Yes, you can do. Can I host another server in Sydney? Yes, you can do. Can I establish a communication between? Yes, you can do. Is it public or private? You can do public as well as private. How do I do? Yes, it is basically a technology which offers basically how you can even do a private kind of infrastructure using the public also. So what are all the services which we can? There are about more than 200 to 300 services which are which came across in Amazon. So this is about my region. So regions, you can see the reachability is about 245 which are there. No, I'm staying in somewhere in not in Mumbai or Hyderabad. So how do I connect to my Amazon resources? I want to have a client which is there, deploy some resources in maybe Oregon or maybe California or something like that. I'm in Noida. What should I do? I'm in Chennai. What should I do? Or I'm in some other country. How do I access these resources? So you can access these two by direct connect or edge locations. I'll tell you edge locations. Edge locations is again Amazon's mapping locations where he created his own infrastructural lines, high speed lines. In India, we have 3 edge locations. One in Hyderabad as of now. One in Noida, okay, the other is in Chennai. So these 3 are called as edge location. For these people, edge location means is that a low latency, high speed internet lines are available at Amazon's cost. So that the clients whoever wants to run or the services whoever wants to run from these 3 locations get direct access. They get a lower trace rather than more hops. So that is called as edge location. We need not invest. Amazon invests like that. Like that, you see this one, there are about 205 edge locations across the world. So edge location is where the users access services. They are located at the most of the cities across the world and are specifically used by CDN, CloudFront Network, okay, to distribute the content to the end users to reduce, the keyword is latency. If you have lower latency, high speed you'll get it. So that is what which is being given to edge location. No, I am somewhere in location in Kolkata or maybe somewhere in Trivandrum, how do I access? So you can access somewhere like you can use a direct connect also. It's like a leased line, high speed line, which comes across directly to you, and you can connect to Amazon resources across the globe. You get a very very high speed if you have a direct connect also. Maybe that if you have more and more infrastructure, you can choose a direct connector so that one is security will be there. Second thing is fastness also will be there. So that's why today Amazon's growth is rapid only because of their infrastructure map. Their resources are highly available. At any point of time, if you want to switch over, no sir, today I want to buy a smaller system. My business, when it grows, what should I do? Should I scrap off the system and buy another system? Amazon says, no. You can just upgrade, leaving all the technology as it is. So if you go to the market, if you buy a system, like if you buy a so-and-so blade server, okay, you bought it, you got it, everything done. Tomorrow you want to enhance the capacity. Maybe you want to change the CPU. Can we do? No, we can't do. We have to give back the server, we have to get another server. But here, it's not like that. You only pay for the difference. That's why we call it elastic. No, my business is not running properly. So I want to reduce. Okay, you can do that. So you can increase, you can decrease. That's why Amazon called as elastic. So that is one of the beautiful concept in Amazon. So some of the cloud providers may not do like that, but Amazon has that provision. So that's why the scalability is high. Your business grows along with the infrastructure, or you can vice versa. Your infrastructure grows along with the business, along with your business. In that way, Amazon supports you. Okay, so now, like as I spoke about region, availability zone, and edge locations. This is what which really helps you in understanding about the Amazon infrastructure. Now, since I have spoken about Amazon a little bit more, now I'll tell you about a brief about the certifications. Why should first of all we have a certification? Amazon wants to focus that everyone who is going to learn should go in a systematic way. If you are certified, you have two advantages. One is you are branded. Okay, you are branded. Second is you will be known to all the public across the community of the cloud or whatever it is, that you are having specific set of knowledge. That is very, very advantageous. You are giving a self recognition of yourself. You are giving a self advertisement. Yes, I have a skills of so and so. I can implement so and so. So that clients come to know very easily if you are certified. Oh yes, you are certified. So then please implement in that particular way. Okay, so Amazon has categorically Amazon has planned the certificates also. Which stream you are can easily be understood. So no sir, I am a foundational. I want just outlines about this. I am a CEO or I am a manager. I am only a marketing manager. I want to know about. I want to sell some products about what Amazon does. Practitioner is okay. An entry level for all. It is mainly focused for the top level and of course marketing and of course entry to the techies, like maybe who is coming from college passed out. Here you will not see much technology, but you will learn about all the services in a common platform. But believe me, this is also good enough. You will understand. You will also need to perform some kind of exercises. It's not that just reading a book will be able to get. But definitely for the techies, I suggest that you should go for an associate. Associate means I'm not saying that it is mandate. Amazon will never mandate. But if you have that kind of skills, then you can easily be rewarded in the industry. What is the rewards? I'll tell you. Right? So first is the foremost thing. See, we have three layers in associate, three kind of certifications. It's not, see, there is no mandate that you need to do foundation and then go for associate. Amazon never does that. Okay, you can directly write architect examinations, solutions architect examination associate without having practitioner also. But if your skills need that, no, I will first go through this practitioner, then also you can talk about it. That is also a way where you can. So now let me tell you, based on the technologies which are available, Amazon has categorized three levels of associate certification. So people, I mean members who belongs to a kind of what we call as support of I mean operating systems, or maybe if you can say networking, or maybe servers, or maybe some kind of level switch into these domains which are there, or even from security, or for those people who are not much familiarity into coding, they can go for solutions architect. They can go for solutions architect. Here, the focus will be more on four areas. I'll tell you, since our training is on solutions architect, I'll be focusing more on this one. The four areas. The first area which will be highly focused is the compute domain. I'll tell you compute. Compute means all the servers. Servers kind means that you will be learning about how to host a Linux server, a Windows server. Not only that, on that how you can access with secure like public-private keys, etc. And then how you can attach volumes, storage, how you can take backup, okay, and how you can take the operating system backup, images, okay. All this kind of stuff is primarily needed. Not only that, how to scale up, auto scaling, very, very important. The privileges of cloud, I mean the advantage of cloud is nothing but these some of the additional features like auto scaling, load balancing for all these kind of servers. Load balancing means suddenly one fine day someone will say that yes, today I have a what we call as a great sale. Then suddenly across the world, all over the people will access the website. Then the server will die if many more transactions come across. So scale up. how to scale up. We can write triggers or alarms, and then we can write the triggers. Based on the triggers, you can increase the servers. What happens if I don't really require? You can scale down, cool down. So that kind of technologies is available. So that is the first domain which you need to know. The second domain which you need to know much about is again some of the application services like your DBA services. You have to create a database service. Creation only, like not I don't say you need to be an expert in database. Okay, you need to create a DB server or something like that, RDS. Okay, and then some kind of application top-ups also will be there, which you can learn. But much more will be covered in what we call as the security part. In security part, you have to learn about various Amazon provides the security services. And the third part, which will be focused much more, will be on networking. The solutions architect, the two primary challenges are one is servers and the other is networking. The rest of the other things are not much, but it can be easily learned. Networking means the first and the one only component which is highly important is your VPC, virtual private cloud. We need to do that. See, I'm only summarizing of all the elements what is being taught in that particular program. Not only that, you have a DNS concept is there, how to implement your websites, web servers, of course, how to create a website into the public domain. So that also will be taught Route 53. Okay. And the last one, fourth tower, which I want to tell in solutions architect is the management, like how to create a metrics, how to get the logs, okay, and how to basically do a kind of automation like cloud formation, beanstalk, okay. So these are all these things, and OpsWorks, all these kinds also will be taught in this technology solutions architect, okay. So these are the primary four domains which will be covered. And of course, in if you see the other one is a developer associate. Most of the people in developer associate, they go based on the SDLC, okay, SDLC, that development life cycle. So we have various concepts related to serverless computing, and of course certain services related to code deployment. Of course, some things related to those. All these things will be there, but it's not much focused. There, it is expected that you need to know a notebook. I mean Python or something like that. Okay. Similarly, operations also will be similarity to development, and of course some combination of architect also will be there. So, but in reality, I'll tell you, in associate level, 70 to 80% is common for all these people. Only 20 to 30% is different. In solutions architect, the most and the primary focus is given for networking and servers. But whereas in developers, we give primary focus for the DevOps. I mean developer and what we call it. I don't say it is DevOps, it is a kind of code deploy or something like that, only certain services. But when you reach to the next layer, so the next layer is the professional layer. If you want, for that minimum of 2 years of experience is, I don't say it is mandate, but it is what we call is better. Okay. There the use cases will be more, the questions will be more related to use cases. Here in associate, the use cases will not be much, only a lighter version, lighter things will be there. All examinations, I tell you, Amazon keeps that is more or less proctored. You have an online exam, or you can go to Pearson Testing Center. So those things also will be discussed as a part of the course. So examination means 65 multiple choice questions. That's all will be there. And you need to get about 700 marks out of 1000 in cloud practitioner, whereas 720 marks in associate level examinations, whereas 750 marks in professional examination. So all these examinations will carry about 100 minutes. So it is very straight. And couple of years back in 2019, Amazon has introduced a new set of courses which is called a specialty. Those are completely different than this. Sir, which one is more advantageous, professional or specialty? More or less equal. Professional and specialty are almost more or less equal. It is much higher than associate, but it is similar to professional. So what is the eligibility to do this specialty? No eligibility. If you have even practitioner or associate also, you can do. Even if you don't go also, you can go directly to that examination, specialty. Okay. So it has a specialty like security, machine learning, okay, you have advanced networking, big data, and of course your skill builder, Alexa skill builder. So data sciences, data, but I mean all this kind of analytics are, all this kind of technologies are covered in your specialty. But my suggestion is that once you complete your associate, then you'll have good knowledge on specialty. That is also another way of doing. Okay. So this is about the certifications. I will be focusing towards the associate, solutions architect associate. So now let me, before I speak, so how do I learn, sir? So MSR, we can create an account. Okay. But please remember, you have to go with a guided account creation. You can create an account, but if you start using, I'll tell you, for account creation itself, he'll take a credit card or debit card along with that. Other, if you don't give your credit card or debit card, your account will not be created. That is for Pakka. So if you are given, that means you are agreeing for all the free tier conditions. If by chance, if you do anything, something which is out of enthusiasm or ignorance or without knowledge or something like that, Amazon will bill you, will charge you. So please take that. So Amazon has given free tier, and our course, whenever we give this particular course and training, we will only focus on free tier, more or less. And more or less, almost all the services has free tier. But if we don't choose right options, then naturally there will be a charge for everything. Like I will tell you, 1 full year he has given to create servers or to create compute or to create, I mean, RDS means that relational data servers or buckets or Lambda, code execution, quick sites, lot of things are there, analytics, etc. But only thing, it has to go in a proper channel. If you don't do that, then you will see bills. You will see bills. And if you don't pay, it automatically goes to the credit card or debit card which you have given that. And we have to agree that. We cannot run away. So as I say that, yes, we need to go with and our training will focus on free tier, believe me. Okay. Now let me just introduce, as I was speaking about all the services. See, the foundational services are mandate for all the technologies, like whether you go for associate or practitioner. You need to know about all these things. In associate also, all the three, whether you are into solutions architect or maybe developer or operations. So here you see this in compute, we need to learn about EC2. Elastic, E for wherever you say E, it is elastic. Wherever you say E, elastic C2, compute cloud. Compute domain is compute cloud, where you can host your servers, you can even type of servers which are there, Linux or Windows server, etc. All this kind of add storage, etc. will also be discussed. And believe me, there are various class of storages. Whether you want to store data on your SATA hard disk or SSD hard disk or SAS hard disk. No, sir, I want to store this data into a tape, Glacier. So all this kind. See, everything there is a price difference. If you want to store data on an SSD, high-speed 12 GB data transfer, yes, you need to pay some amount. No, sir, I want to store on a cold storage. You pay very less. Here, okay, he'll say, okay, 5 cents or in Glacier, 5 cents a month for 1 GB. Here he may say $1, okay, for 1 GB. There is a huge difference, 20 times the difference. So it is you to choose which one you have, which one you want. Okay, I mean, based on the client's requirements, we generally choose. Lambda, serverless computing, we'll be learning that. Storage, different type of storage, as I mentioned, a Glacier, a storage gateway, content delivery, CloudFront, all these things we will be learning. In database, yes, we will be learning about DynamoDB, which is Amazon's proprietary DynamoDB, which has a very low latency, no SQL database is DynamoDB. In RDS, we will be learning about how to deploy, I mean, MySQL, or maybe you can even host Amazon Aurora servers also in this. We will be learning. And of course, we will be learning some of the other technologies like Redshift. We will not be deploying. It's a complex database. We should know only those. Most important is Route 53, VPC, Direct Connect. These three are mandate for solutions architect. For others, it's an outlay. Okay. And now coming back to the application services, yes, the services more or less, like I can tell you, and security. IAM is common for all. AWS IAM is common for all. Everyone needs to know, and we have a big exercise on that. CloudTrail, CloudWatch, all these things are common again. So as I said, that 70% of or 70 to 80% of the services are common for all the, I mean, strategies which we have. I mean, for all the three technologies. So you can see cloud formation is an important one for solutions architect. Code deploy may not be important for solutions. It is for developers. Ops works is common because generally, even though it is not asked, but still, I suggest that we should learn certain things. I speak about that. And of course, in analytics, we may be outlined with kinesis, data streaming, okay, data pipeline, code deploy, these things, EMR will be discussed for mostly for the developers. That to outline, not much in depth because there are some limitations for that. EMR is MapReduce, which is not at all covered for us. It is for speciality. EMR is MapReduce for big data. And application services at the top layer, you see, we will be learning about SQS means queuing service. We will also be learning about SES means simply email services. All these things are common. And some of the things like transcoder and application stream may not be that much covered for our what we call as associate level. And similarly, SNS, simple notification service, we do that. Cognito also a little bit because Cognito is again an important service for these people. I mean, security services, especially mobile security services. We will learn about that a little bit. And of course, the enterprise applications, we may not be much focusing on that. That is actually focused for professional level. So these are all, this is only an outline which I am giving you. Still more services are there. Still more services are there. Okay, this is again the same replica of this thing: compute domain, storage domain, database, networking, management tools, security, application services, and DevOps, developer tools. The bottom layer we will not focus, but the other layers we will be focusing as relevant. More or less, what we generally expect that for a role of a duties of a solution architect, if you are coming from any technology aspects like from platform or from database or from networking, or I suggest for a solutions architect. If you are exclusively coming from a coding, then only you can go for development. Otherwise, solutions architect is highly paid. So now I'll speak to you. This is a blueprint which let me complete my training demonstration. Then I'll see the what we call as your questions. So here this is a blueprint which is suggested by Amazon itself. I gave the link also. You can see this one. This is the role of what is expected of a solutions architect. Roles R&R. If you ask about, if I learn this one, what is my R&R? This is the one. You see this one? Hands-on experience using compute. You should have, if you do this associate. Networking, storage, database services on AWS. Hands-on experience on AWS deployment and management services like CloudTrail, pulling out the logs, pulling out the metrics, creating all these things are very important. Ability to identify and define technical requirements. Suppose if you are asked to create a use case, you need to do that based on the technical requirements. Okay. Ability to identify which AWS service meets a given technology requirement. Knowledge of recommended best practices for building secure and reliable applications. See, what is expected for solutions architect is at least 2 years of knowledge, of current knowledge which you have. An understanding of the basic architecture. See, and when I read out all these things, I'm not saying that you should have 100%. At least you should have some idea. Based on that, you should focus. So this is what is the client's expectation. Global infrastructure, how AWS is really. So tomorrow, if you are going to give a solution to a client, then what will you give without understanding the AWS infrastructure? Understanding about the network technologies as they relate to AWS, and understanding of security features and tools, various tools which are there. Technologies, we should learn about cryptography, we should learn about what is our private public key, okay, certificate services, all these things, and how they this one. So this one is available in the blueprint. You can click this particular one. You can see this. This is a training and certification, and this the current one is SAA02. Last August onwards, this is SAC02, and so the things which I had described is completely from this particular slides only. So this is the exam preparation, course outline, and of course all the specifications are also given here in this, what each domain covers. We focus based on the syllabus and requirements accordingly. I hope this is clear. Okay, exam blueprint. If you want, once the training is complete, we will also focus for how to prepare for the exam. Okay, and I'll also give the methodologies how you can create the exam. So now the very important one. What is my rewards? Once I do my certification, there are a number of advantages to become solution certified. Amazon Web Service certifications validate your skills and knowledge. Okay, consistently listed about the top paying infotech certifications. Okay, you'll get Garner more as per Garner, you get more interviews aspiring for cloud specialities and higher wages once they are hired. Naturally, these people are paid based on how their performance also are recognized industry wide as reliable and well designed tech credentials. Demonstrate credibility and dedication to your cloud engineering career path. It doesn't stop there. Once you do the certification, it doesn't stop there. You can scale up. Provide access to a network of like minded peers and, of course, the AWS thought leaders. Require recertification. Of course, this will be valid, the certification for 3 years. Every 3 years, you need to revalidate yourself. If your skills are not there, then it is useless. So now I'll tell you one more important thing. You can see the salary survey of 2019 for a solutions architect in US is something like $117,000. Okay, for an associate. For a professional, you get higher, 136,000. This is only a survey. Okay, you can understand that even in India also, for a 2 years or 3 years experienced, if he is a cloud solutions architect, he'll get six figure, minimum of 10 or higher. There are members, even I could see who has completed with 1 year expertise also crossing 10. Reaching 10, 14, 15 is not a big task if you are doing well, if you understand about the infrastructure of AWS properly. So this is only a rough idea of how you can. See, for developer and developer DevOps also is very much similar, but solutions architect is highly regarded. Okay, this is only just for your understanding of how the certification salaries are. Okay, so that's all about my presentation. This is about what I wanted to tell you. So here I have covered, this is my mail ID, and you can always keep in touch with COS also. Yeah, now I can take up some questions. So what I have covered till now is I spoke about something, the cloud computing and why Amazon, how Amazon is there across the world, and of course, what are all the training requirements, especially for the certification, the syllabus, etc. I have shown you, and of course, I also shown about the certification path, of course, the domains which are covered, which will be there, and also the rewards once you do the certifications. Okay, I'll be showing you one more small presentation, which is basically, so once you sign up, this is how it looks like. You see this one, I'll not be showing much of the things. These are all the services which are there. You see how many number of domains they are increasing. You see, if you want to work on compute, you can work. These are all the services which are available. Okay, storage, alphabetically has given, database, okay, and see this machine learning, okay, machine learning, which is very fast, analytics which is there, EMR, etc. And of course, gaming, Internet of Things, okay, all these domains are there. I'll tell you how fast you can deploy a server. I'll show you within 2 minutes. I'll show you. Within 2 minutes, you can easily deploy a server. So here, if you want, some of you might be familiar on Red Hat Linux. I'll show you how much time I can deploy. See here, I want to launch an instance. I want to launch a server. I will select a Red Hat Linux, Version 8. Just say select. That's all. I'll show you. Within a minute's time, I can review and launch. You can launch the server and launch the instance. I have only 3 or 4 steps. It is creating the server for you, and in minute's time you can access the server. You see this one? The server is getting ready. The server is getting ready. In a minute's time, you can see it should be running also. Okay, it has given a public IP of. You can also try accessing the server, whether you are able to get this particular one. You can access just in a simple way. Like I can tell you, you can go for putty and run and just copy this particular one. I have my private key to access the server. AWS keys and just say, yep, it's ready now. It's ready now. You can see now. This is Red Hat 8.4, the release. The server is for you. The server is for you. You can access this publicly also. This one, this IP address I have, you can see this one, and you can access, you'll get login prompt also if you have Putty on hand. So this, within 2 minutes you got it. That is how the power which will be there. This instance, you'll be learning about volumes, snapshots, means the images, etc. You will learn about auto scaling. You will be learning about load balancing. Load balancing is highly needed for level 3 kind of tasks. How you should, basically it is a kind of a cluster. Okay, you can add 2 servers, 3 servers and see how the load is getting balanced. Okay, this is all I can make use of this particular server in the cloud. Is this clear? Any questions from members? Please do ask me now. Let me open my chat box. Yeah, I will share the slides part to COS. You can take that slides copy. Okay, later. Maybe a modified version I'll give. Is this clear, Ravi Kumar? Yeah, any other questions from any members? What's the duration of the course? Yeah, that's a good question. See, the duration of the course is recommended is around 40 to 50 hours, the total. So that comes to about month to month and a half. I mean around 40 days. Monday to Friday, weekly 5 days. Okay, Saturday, Sunday is good time for you to revise whatever the things which are happen. So it will take approximately 5 to 6 weeks in that way. Right? So recommended is 40 to 50 hours. Sometimes what happens is that some members may not have the awareness knowledge, like if I speak about general awareness on networking, like general awareness on Linux, general awareness on servers. Okay, I'll be speaking about all those things. So what all things will be covered? The entire topics which is there as per the syllabus, day-to-day demonstrations will be there. So I'll tell you there are about number of labs. Every day itself is a lab for us. I'll be giving you a short explanation about that particular service. Okay, I'll also be sharing the day-to-day. I'll not be saying that I'll be giving you a huge, a big Bible and then just sleep. That way it won't work. Day-to-day notes will be given. You will also be given access on the WhatsApp so that I can distribute accordingly. And also there will be some kind of what we call as a questionnaire from time to time. You can participate in the questionnaire as needed. And every day the support also will be given. Whatever lab I have demonstrated, you will also be doing along with me. In case due to some reasons if you are unable to do, still I will be giving you the lab recording of that particular, the lab recording only. So you can, with help of that, you can practice that exercise. But my suggestion is that without practice, the course may not be useful for you. Listening may not really work. What all you need is any laptop or desktop with the network connection and with a browser with your AWS account. That's all. Very simple. Right, any other question? So roughly the duration is 1.5 months maximum. Yeah, that I think Madam Saujanya Madam will be letting you know. Tentatively, we are discussing from 19th. If all things work through, then we will be starting from 19th morning. The timings and all these things, Madam will be notified. If some of you members are coming directly to me, from me, then you can ask me.
Cost will we provide that AWS access, or we need to create that AWS account?
Sorry, once again.
Cost will be provide the AWS access, or we need to create the account?
Individual. Account creation is individual. I'll be speaking about how you can create your accounts.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Morely focused on certificate training and certification. See, if I say training means many people are there in the daily, I mean in the open market. They only train what they know. They don't focus on certification. Certification, why I generally suggest is that you will be focused what Amazon's requirement is. So otherwise what happens is that people will speak and they are, yes, we have completed. And when you go to the open market, you will not reach the trainer. At least you will know now what Amazon is really requiring is. And then why I insist on certification is that you will be guaranteed selected if you have certification. You have more chances. Only thing is that if you are still disqualified after that means there is somewhere where you have not done your practicals properly, or the industry is requiring. If you have all the skills, why would he reject you? Until unless there is some drawbacks, some other drawbacks which are there. Yeah, fee and all those things, Madam will be speaking. If the members who are directly joining from me, you can ask me. Otherwise, you please contact COS. Okay, if you are coming through COS, please ask COS. Fees, the training date and time. Okay, related to technology part, you ask me. I'm the trainer. Anything related to technology queries, certification queries, or maybe how. At the last, I'll also promise you. Again, I'm saying, once you complete your training, certification kind of preparation also I give, like a kind of what type of questions you get, what type of dumps you really need to focus. The latest one needs to be done. If not, what happens is that you may know all the technology, but unfortunately what happens is that once you go into the market, once you go into the exam, if you don't know what type of questioning pattern or what type of questions, it will be more difficulty. Yeah, how will be the practical sessions? Yes, it will be online. More or less everything is online. And this practice daily, almost all, you have a little bit of theory. Most, like I'll say, I'll not say the relevant theory will be there. That theory includes some kind of demo PowerPoint presentations and also short notes, which is more focused towards the interviews and definitions. More focused. What type of questions you will be asked in the interviews? So such type of things also I'll be sharing, so that you can easily prepare and get ready, okay, before you complete your course from time to time. That is called as a short notes. If you want long notes, yes, I can give books also. But those things reading it is up to you. If you have enough bandwidth, you can read, right? No, Shravanti, it's not what I say is that more theoretical, more interactive. The more you work on, the more you remember. So if it is only theory and PowerPoint presentation, you are gone. Nothing you can gain. You can become a kind of a sales executive or something like that. Yeah, we'll be doing labs only in the free time. Absolutely. Vinay Gupta. Yes. We'll be doing mostly 99%. If there is anything which is billable or chargeable, I'll tell you. This is billable. This is chargeable. I will show. If you want, see, even charges, even if it's there also 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 5 rupees, like that only it will be there, not more than that. That is peanuts for us. Okay. So I will not say that you have to pay 500 rupees or 100 or 1000 rupees, nothing like that. Yeah, I was speaking in the presentation, right, Sajid? The difference between solutions architect and sysops. I was showing you the towers. Solutions architect is more focused for the people who are into what we call as who are into the admin kind of role, all kind of admin roles. Yeah.
A person with, let's assume, system admin,
Okay.
let's assume that he's in a Red Hat lineup, should opt for which course? I mean,
Absolutely, no doubt in that. Solutions architect.
Okay.
If you are from coding, if you are having some development background, then you can go for developer associate. If it is from servers or networking or compute or anything which is there, okay, straight away I can suggest you is solutions architect. In solutions architect, you will be having some kind of scripting, but not much coding, not much. Here we will be having something related to JSON, something related to Ansible, I mean like YAML. We will be learning about certain things, but we need not by heart the things which which we do for what we call is for development people. We don't do like that. We'll only learn up to hello words. That's all, nothing more.
Great.
Is this
Second question.
has this got your yeah? Please ask.
Okay, the zone part. I think the third slide or the fourth slide, which you were showing up.
Okay, availability
Says
zone.
that, yeah. In India, as per that map, what you were showing,
Yes.
it said, I think, number two.
Absolutely, in Mumbai. One region, 2 zones.
Okay. Okay, understood.
Got it? 2 zones.
Yeah, sure.
Minimum 2 zones will be there. Otherwise, we cannot consider any region as a DR.
Great.
So you can imagine the 2 zones are minimum should be there in order to have a disaster recovery. I mean, like high availability. Otherwise, we cannot deploy that. Minimum 2. And you can imagine if you are a networking guy, you can understand that both of them are different subnets.
Sure.
Right? Any other question? Yeah, anyone? Please ask. What's the difference between? Yeah, I spoke about that. Yeah, any other question? I'm ready to answer. So the training will be more interactive. As I say that, see, the people who are serious for taking the certifications or for serious who wants to have a career in this particular thing, please join. Please join. See that all your queries, or before that all your what we call relevant exercises. I'm a person basically, I don't only teach theory, I'll say that you have to practice. I'm the person who can be helpful if you are practicing more. Okay, you ask your queries, technology wise I'm there. Okay, but okay, to the relevant of solutions architect, to that relevant. Okay, so if we are going higher, then it's not necessary for that. It is not necessary. But still, if sometimes I may not have that much knowledge also, I say, even though I had about 30 years of overall experience from my engineering, but still sometimes it so happens that I have to learn even from the current technologies. So it happens. But still, for the last 4.5 years, I'm teaching this what we call as the solutions architect. All major questions are being worked out. In case if it is not, I'll get back. Oh, sorry, someone has kept in mute. Okay. Sometimes what happens, I was saying that sometimes if I don't get back the question on time, I may get back again. I may once after working on so and so. But related to the technology, rest assured. Right? And even the exam also, I'll be giving you the latest terms. But I cannot guarantee the questions. I'll say that this is how we prepare, and you have to face the examination. And believe me, there are hundreds and thousands of people who got certified under my training.
So it's all about multiple choices.
Yes, ABCD. But you have to be clear what is which answer is correct. And you have to get at least for solutions architect means 720. That is 72% pass.
How many questions, sir, total?
Around 65. Exact 65 questions.
So how
All
much we should
ABCD.
get? How much we should get for clearing that?
720. That's 72%. Right? 72%. Some questions may be multiple answers correct. Some questions, maybe 4 or 5 questions will be choose 2 or choose 3, something like that. But it's not very tough as like a rocket science or something. There are many straight answers questions, and some questions will be, see, and if we don't really understand the question, probably we may not be able to pass. Otherwise, see, once you take the voucher, it's 1 year valid. And the cost of the examination also, someone has asked me, I'll tell you, for solutions architect, sorry, for the practitioner, it is $100. For the $100. For associate, it is $150. For specialty, $300, and professional also $300. One more good news is, you complete your practitioner, you want to go for the next one, you will get 50% voucher. I mean that the $100 certification if you complete, the next one if you do solutions architect, you need not pay 150, you pay only 75. Got it? Once you complete that, you'll get another voucher. For that $300, you can do it in 150. So 50% Amazon gives you as a promotion. If you qualify, if you don't qualify, no. If you write directly, you have to pay higher. I mean, you have to pay, like for a professional, you have to pay $300. So some people go from the bottom. Because if you write bottom 2 certifications, how much you are? 100 plus 75, 175. If you do directly, the first, second one, the solutions are you need to pay 150. So here you get 2, but there you get only 1. So that will be the difference will be there. Is this clear?
So are you going to train us for the practitioner also?
Yeah, this certification will automatically include this practitioner. Because when I give practice training to any associate, it includes associate practitioner also.
So basically, you're going to train us for the associate solution architect
Yep.
with practitioner,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you.
Practitioner is having a low level, not much covered syllabus. Even
So the
then,
same
I'll give you
criteria
the
for
dumps of what we call as practitioner.
Same criteria for passing?
Absolutely, 700. The 70% is the pass. 65 questions. Okay.
Yeah. So does it matter the percentage while getting hired by a company?
No. On your certificate, there is no percentage. You will get a score report. You can download and you can verify.
Okay.
And he'll give you the breakup also, where you got, where you didn't get, etc.
Same like Red Hat.
Yeah, any test center will give you that. Similarly here also, you can download from your Amazon website itself. There is certmetrics.com, where all this your digital badge, digital certificate, and of course score report, and what all the freebies, etc. He'll be giving you a lot of freebies. Like as I mentioned, one is certification, next certification 50%. Okay, like that. Maybe access to some blogs. Okay, like that. Some vouchers also he'll give. Right? Any other members' questions? Please do ask me along with Sajid. Yeah, I hope I have answered all the questions. If you still have any questions, you can still route through COS. I'll still get back on all these questions, and hope to see you soon at my training. Right? And once again, thanks everyone for your participation, and hope to see you all soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.